Welcome to Sightings. I'm Tim White. When you think of the word voodoo, what comes to mind? Zombies rising from the dead, magic potions, evil spells cast by sticking pins into voodoo dolls. Well, these may be the popular voodoo images learned from pulp fiction, but they aren't reality. While real voodoo practiced in the United States is more benign than you may think, black magic disguised as voodoo is more evil than you can imagine. In November 1991, the law catches up with reputed Florida drug lord Romeo Mathis. For the past 4 years, many people believe Mathis has controlled a $1 million drug empire with powers he acquired through black magic. In fact, documents have been found showing Mathis targeted 58 people for spells intended to cause death. Among those allegedly cursed were a U.S. attorney, a federal judge, and a prosecutor. The black magic spells evoked by Mathis have been called voodoo. But real voodoo is not black magic. It is a complicated religion, almost completely misunderstood by the uninitiated.
Voodoo to Americans means black magic and zombies and pins and dolls. Voodoo to a scholar is the study or the observance of holy things. So the word voodoo actually means holy or sacred.
Hollywood is largely responsible for the misconceptions about voodoo. And tabloid journalists have taken one of the world's oldest religions and reduced it to a series of sensational headlines. True voodoo evolved from various African religions coming together during slave trading in the 19th century on the island of Haiti. After gaining independence from the French, Haitians brought their practice of voodoo out of the mountains and into the open.
Haitians are 90% Catholic, 10% Protestant, and 100% voodoo. I don't think that Haiti would have been the first black republic. I don't think the Haitians would have achieved their independence without the religion of voodoo. Voodoo gave them solidarity which no other institution could have given them.
Today, voodoo thrives outside of Haiti, kept alive in peristyles or temples around the world. In Philadelphia, the peristyle Haitian sanctuary is just one of more than 1,000 voodoo sanctuaries in the United States.
Voodoo has become synonymous with the word evil and satanic. So it's something that everybody hates and know nothing about. It's amazing the tremendous amount of ignorance people have about something and yet have such a definite, firm opinion about it. It is a perfect example of how, in this country, people have lost the capacity for analysis, reflection, and clear thinking.
Voodoo's sacred secrets are guarded by priests and priestesses like Angela Novanyan. Angela believes she was called to voodooism by a mysterious power.
I had a dream about this place, and I didn't know what it was. I went to the travel agent, and they showed me pictures. That's where I want to go. They said, that's Haiti. And I was very sick, and I lost my job. I didn't have anything to lose. I went to Haiti, and I became a priestess there.
The voodoo service involves a complicated series of rituals and ceremonies. Drumming and singing are used to call spiritual forces, or loas, to visit the congregation. Believers claim to have a direct line to the spirit world when loas temporarily possess the priests and talk through them. Loa possession can be sudden and, for some believers, very traumatic. The writhing body movements and altered state of consciousness are particularly disturbing the first time a practitioner is possessed.
When I came out of that possession, my mother had me pinned up against the refrigerator with my arms stretched out, and she was crying, Jesus, 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 the blood of Jesus. And then my mother said, you possessed the devil.
Since possession is frequently associated with evil, it has been difficult for voodoo practitioners to convince outsiders that Loa possession is benign and, in fact, positive.
The constant metaphor used in a Vodun ceremony is that the Loa are like horsemen and the worshippers are like horses. And during a voodoo ceremony, the Loa will come down and ride the backs of their worshippers the way a horseman rides a horse.
It is believed that a Loa completely obliterates the personality of the priest or priestess being possessed. And sometimes that kind of total possession will affect a member of the congregation with frightening results.
Anybody can become possessed, which is a danger, because not anyone can handle possession. There's a word in Haitian Creole, the word is bossal, which means wild. And if a person hasn't been properly initiated, if she or he is contacted by the energy of the Loa, is basically out of control.
The first time that I got hit lightly with the possession, I was quite shocked. And I said, boy, this is a lot realer than I thought. It's so close. It's a very humbling experience. You realize that it's beyond us.
Anybody who's ever seen a voodoo ceremony and isn't prepared for the phenomena of spirit possession would be, I think, shocked, perhaps upset if that person was not used to seeing people worship with their body as well as with their minds.
The rituals practiced at the Peristyle Haitian Sanctuary in Philadelphia are voodoo as a religion, offering guidance, a strong sense of community spirit, and a path to spiritual enlightenment. How then did the myths about voodoo's dark side become so ingrained in popular culture? Some scholars believe it happened here in New Orleans early in this century, when voodoo was popularized, some say commercialized, by priestess Marie Laveau.
One blue candle I brought as a special offering for the spirit of Marie Laveau, because blue was her favorite color, and she always wore a blue shawl. And that was the blue represented her great compassion and healing quality of the mother.
All of the power structure of New Orleans came to consult with her, because as a voodoo priestess, of course, she was able to talk to the Loa. She was recognized as sort of the unofficial mayor of the city.
The voodoo practiced by Marie Laveau and generations of disciples after her has been preserved in the New Orleans Voodoo Museum. But what is called voodoo here is really a mix of many traditions, including elements of black magic.
New Orleans voodoo is probably the most eclectic, because people came here from all of the islands, so they brought their tradition with them. And I think this is what's wonderful about New Orleans voodoo, because it really allows you to be creative, to express yourself through spiritual means.
In small shops called botanicas throughout the French Quarter, potions are available that believers claim can cast spells on people. There are love potions, money potions, even a potion thought to cause a state of waking death. Some voodoo practitioners claim zombies are human beings who have been given this hallucinogenic potion. But despite Hollywood's continuing fascination with the dark side of voodoo, practitioners of true voodoo deny the very existence of zombies. The fight to establish the legitimacy of voodoo as a positive faith has been made difficult by their practice of animal sacrifice. Believers insist that what may look evil to outsiders is an important part of their religion.
For us, the animal sacrificing is asking the Loa to bless your offering so that you can have holy meat to eat. And it's only done at a ceremony, a real big ceremony, which is a time where priests and priestesses must feed the poor.
While some believers continue to concentrate on the positive forces of voodoo, there will always be those who exploit voodoo for their own purposes. And as long as the spells and curses of people like Romeo Mathis are exploited in headlines and on television, the religion of voodoo will remain feared and misunderstood.
Voodoo gave purpose to my life. I mean, you're talking about a young African-American male coming up on the streets from the poor community. It not only physically cleaned me up, but spiritually provided and nourished me. It gave me things to learn, new things, fresh things, new ideas, new directions, things that I never thought of before.
In the voodoo religion, voodoo dolls are not as evil as we've come to believe. The pins traditionally stuck in the dolls were actually holding messages for the spirits. The idea that these pins were meant to hurt people is pure imagination, invented by writers trying to cash in on the fear of voodoo cults.
Coming up, the psychic powers of healing and crime solving are alive and well in Russia. What's the secret? Meet the amazing Russian psychics next.
With a sightings investigative team working in Russia, we've been intrigued by the amount of respect and credibility given to the paranormal by government agencies there. In Moscow, the Scientific Research Center for Traditional Medicine is conducting serious research into psychic healing. For them, psychics who heal illness are put into the category of traditional medicine.
Red Square continues to symbolize the heart and soul of what used to be the Soviet Union. The military parades and communist presence of the past are gone now, but a team of psychics is free to meet to perform an exorcism of the evil spirits that they believe haunt the Kremlin and Lenin's tomb.
Lenin's ghost is evil. He is still here with many other high-level communists who were buried in the square. It's our duty as psychics to purge the Kremlin of these demons who have a stranglehold on the people.
Exorcising ghosts in a nation's capital may seem like a bizarre practice to Americans, but Russia is a land where psychic power is accepted by not only the citizens, but by the scientific community as well. This psychic claims that the supernatural energy emanating from his hands is so strong that he can control the needle of a compass. And beyond street demonstrations like this, psychics work with doctors to reportedly heal a variety of life-threatening illnesses. The Moscow Police Department regularly employs psychics in unsolved cases, including kidnapping, missing persons, and murder. The Central Clearinghouse for the Study of Clairvoyance and Psychic Healing is the Scientific Research Center of Traditional Medicine in Moscow. The center's director is Dr. Vladimir Galperin.
Our center is a fantastic research and treatment clinic. After conferring with their own doctors, patients make appointments for sessions with our psychic healers. The healers meet with the patients and design a program that heals the person without drugs or machines. Our psychics are the best in the world and have documented results without even touching the person.
Dr. Galperin backs up his claims with data and statistics from years of scientific study. He claims his psychics have had success with cases where medical doctors have given up hope. People with terminal illnesses see this center as their last chance.
Every psychic on our staff is certified yearly by the scientific committee. They test the psychic's powers and verify their abilities. Only board-certified healers work here. We guard against charlatans and fakes. There's too much important work to be done.
In addition to healing, the psychics working at the center have branched out into other areas. Here, Moscow police detectives ask the psychics' help in solving a missing persons case.
A man came from Prisk to Moscow to visit relatives. After visiting, he disappeared without a trace.
The number of unsolved crimes in Moscow has risen dramatically. Overworked police are using every means possible to solve crimes.
So, you want to use our psychics as a means of finding the whereabouts of these people?
Absolutely. We find less than 10% of these people using traditional methods.
The police files are presented to the staff in a roundtable meeting. Dr. Galperin asks each psychic to focus on the energy of the victim.
This is not black magic. Our psychics have gifts from God that they use to focus and interpret energy particles that are too small to be detected by standard instruments. They use photographs only as a tool to help them visualize.
The observations of each psychic are recorded, and the results are startling. The group unanimously agrees as to the fate of the victim. They say that the man in this photograph was brutally murdered by organized crime because he knew too much. The psychic Podlyagan receives the clearest visions. And working with a Moscow street map, he indicates exactly where he believes the man's body can be found. Podlyagan led police to this location, an old Russian Orthodox cemetery in East Moscow. Strangely, cemeteries are a common hiding place for murder victims in Russia. Organized crime often buries bodies under existing coffins. To pinpoint the exact location of the body in this case, Podlyagan uses divining rods, thin stainless steel pointers he believes pick up psychic energy. It's a macabre form of dowsing, designed not to find water, but bodies. Podlyagan concludes that the body is within 30 meters of this location. The group then relays their findings to police detective Mikhail Ivanovich, who has had success working with psychics in the past.
I've worked many cases with Podlyagan, and I know him to be correct more than 80% of the time. The case we are currently investigating is no different. In the past, we have brought in the canine squad with a homicide detective. The team follows the lead that Podlyagan has given them. When the dog signals that something is buried, the men immediately dig. In the winter, this is a difficult process. The frozen ground can hold up an investigation. But in the past, when we've had such clear indications, it has only been a matter of time before the body was found. When a body is unearthed, it is very gruesome, as bodies that have been buried for a long time without preservatives decay very rapidly. Once the positive ID is made with police techniques, the case is closed and we can all go home. I cannot say that every case has a positive resolution, because many crimes just remain unsolved.
But despite his cautious attitude, Detective Ivanovich remains hopeful that psychics like Podlyagan will be a successful addition to his department. During our investigation, Podlyagan believes he has located the exact location of this victim, buried directly underneath the coffin in this burial plot. At the time of our investigation, the frozen ground and a scarcity of resources forced the police to postpone digging at this site.
Everything is difficult in Moscow right now. Our access to the necessary equipment is limited. We are frustrated because we would like to dig immediately, but the case must wait until spring when the ground is softer. The investigation will continue at that time.
The tragedy of cases like this one takes its toll on the psychics, but they are encouraged by the healing work that they're also involved with at Dr. Galperin's research center.
We have many people who want to invest in our work, and we want to teach the world about these things. It's exciting to help so many people find health. And for those we cannot save, we can at least illuminate the mystery, and with a light on mystery, we will be led to true understanding.
Moscow police have now confirmed that after the spring thaw, they will dig at the site indicated by the psychic Podlyagan. The fact that the Moscow Police Department credits their psychic detectives with an 80% success rate is astounding. Perhaps with the new spirit of openness between Russia and the United States, some of their psychics may soon be invited here to test their accuracy on American soil.
Coming up next, has science discovered the cosmic secret to time travel?
If you create the right kind of wormhole, you could also use it to travel through time.
For astronomers, few phenomena are as intriguing as black holes. To us, they may seem like little more than dark, empty voids in space. But to the trained scientist, black holes represent a world of possibilities, including the potential for real-life time travel.
Literally, black holes are star-gobbling objects. According to some estimates, there are about 100 million black holes in our galaxy. So there's a very, very, very slight chance that sometime over the next couple of 100 billion years, we might run into a black hole. The Hubble Space Telescope recently took what may be among the most historic photos in the history of science, and those are photos of what appears to be a black hole. This is the first really convincing evidence that black holes do exist. This photo shows what appears to be a kind of donut-shaped object surrounding a point of light. It's the area around the black hole where matter tends to clump together just before it's sucked ultimately to its doom inside the black hole.
Now that these new pictures have changed black holes from scientific theory to scientific fact, space researchers are exploring the possibility that theories about time travel and interdimensional space travel could also one day be scientific fact.
For years, when people looked at black holes, they thought of them as time machines. What people are talking about instead now are things called cosmic wormholes, which are special cousins of the black holes.
Although it has yet to be proven, scientists are pursuing the idea that wormholes are really tears in the fabric of space. Could these holes be the intergalactic subway tunnels of the future?
If you create the right kind of wormhole, you could also use it to travel through time.
If time travel is possible, then why haven't we been invaded by hordes of tourists from the future?
Just as black holes were once only theory, scientists hope to someday prove that time travel is also possible. And they're looking to the stars for that proof.
The universe is an enormous place, and people have to remember that the numbers are definitely in favor of the possibility of the existence of life, perhaps even intelligent life on other worlds.
I am very hopeful that wormholes do exist because they would create the option of being able to travel to the distant stars.
If you've had a paranormal experience, our Sightings investigative team would like to know. At 1-900-740-SIGHT. Each call 75 cents a minute. Average call lasts 2 minutes, and you must be 18 years or older.